Wisely. Your turn.
My turn? Who are you?
My name is Kantos Kan. I serve Princess Deja.
Deja?
Uh-huh. From what she tells me...
The titles and synopses for the John Carter sequels are out, and they look like they'll definitely keep you on the edge of your seat. The titles and synopses for the John Carter sequels that might have been revealed sound intriguing. The original John Carter movie came out in 2012, kicking off with a story that unfolds in 1881. Edgar Rice Burroughs, attending his uncle John Carter's funeral, discovers Carter's mysterious instructions. His body is sealed in a tomb that can only be unlocked from the inside. Burroughs is handed Carter's journal, diving him into a past adventure. In a flashback to 1868 in the Arizona Territory, we find Carter, a former Confederate Army captain, arrested by Union Colonel Powell, who hopes Carter will help fight the local Apache. Carter escapes, but a chase with Apache warriors ends when he and a wounded Powell hide in a gold-filled cave. There, a mysterious Thurn appears, surprising them and attacking. Carter manages to kill the Thurn, but accidentally activates a powerful medallion, transporting him to Barsoom, or Mars. On this new world with low gravity and his earthborn strength, Carter finds he can jump incredible heights and perform superhuman feats. Soon, he's captured by the Tharks, a tribe of towering green Martians led by their Jedak, Tars Tarkas. Meanwhile, on Barsoom, the red Martian cities of Helium and Zodanga have been locked in a brutal thousand-year war. Sab Than, the Jedak of Zodanga, gains an advantage with a powerful weapon gifted by the Thurn leader, Matai Shang. He proposes a truce by marrying the Princess of Helium, Deja Thoris, but Deja escapes, only to be rescued by Carter. Carter, Deja, and Sola, the daughter of Thark leader Tars Tarkas, journey along a sacred river, searching for a way for Carter to return to Earth. Along the way, they learn that the medallions are fueled by a mysterious ninth ray, the same energy that powers Sab Than's weapon. However, they are ambushed by the Warhoon, a fierce tribe led by Matai Shang. Taken to Zodanga, a devastated Deja reluctantly agrees to marry Sab Than, but not before giving Carter instructions to return to Earth. Instead, Carter chooses to stay. Captured by Shang, he learns the dark purpose of the Thurns, to manipulate and drain civilizations of their resources, setting them up for ruin. Shang reveals that they intend to do the same to Barsoom, with Sab Than as their puppet ruler. Determined to fight back, Carter returns with Sola to the Tharks, only to find that Tal Hajus, a brutal Thark, has overthrown Tars Tarkas. In a climactic arena battle, Carter and a wounded Tarkas face two enormous great white apes. Carter ultimately defeats Hajus, claiming leadership over the Tharks. The Thark army charges into Zodanga, discovering that the main Zodangan forces are stationed outside Helium. John and the Tharks seize Zodangan airships and head to Helium. In the ensuing battle, Carter defeats the Zodangan forces, Sab Than is killed, and Shang is forced to flee. Carter marries Deja, becoming Helium's prince. On their wedding night, Carter decides to stay on Mars for good and discards his medallion. Sensing an opportunity, Shang reappears briefly and throws Carter another challenge by sending him back to Earth. Determined to return, Carter begins a long quest to find another medallion on Earth. After years of searching, he seemingly dies and requests an unusual funeral setup, knowing that a return to Mars would leave his Earth body in a comatose state. He names Burroughs as his protector. In the present, Burroughs rushes to Carter's tomb, using clues to open it. Just as he succeeds, a Thurn appears with a weapon, but Carter suddenly shows up, shooting the Thurn from behind. He explains that he never actually found a medallion, but had crafted a plan to draw a Thurn out of hiding, thus winning Shang's challenge. Using the Thurn's medallion, Carter returns to Barsoom. John Carter features a cast that includes Taylor Kitsch, Lynn Collins, Willem Dafoe, Samantha Morton, Bryan Cranston, and Thomas Hayden Church. The film was directed by renowned Pixar writer-director Andrew Stanton, known for A Bug's Life, Finding Nemo, WALL-E, and Finding Dory. Stanton had ambitious plans for a John Carter II and even a John Carter III, with the intention of further adapting Edgar Rice Burroughs' series of novels. Andrew Stanton has now shared the titles and storylines he had in mind for the John Carter sequels. According to sources, John Carter 2 was set to be titled Gods of Mars, while John Carter 3 would have been called Warlord of Mars. Stanton offered more insight into the plot of Gods of Mars, describing where the adventure would have taken Carter next. John Carter has been stuck on Earth for 10 years. While he was away, his wife Deja had their child, who ends up kidnapped by the villain Matai Shang. Carter returns to Mars only to find that Deja has gone off, convinced that following the river will lead her to the Therns and their kidnapped child. Carter teams up with Tars Tarkas, played by Willem Dafoe, and they follow Deja down the river, eventually stumbling upon an advanced underground city run by a race called the Firstborn. This group is way ahead in technology, beyond anything on Earth or Mars, and has been controlling essentials like water, air, and even carnivorous plants since the beginning. The Firstborn are fanatical followers of a goddess named Isis, who turns out to actually be Matai Shang, using his shape-shifting abilities to pose as a deity. Carter reveals Shang's deception to the Firstborn, tracks down his son, who has been turned into a superhuman warrior trained to kill Carter, and nearly has a tragic showdown with him. In a final action-packed scene, the Helium Air Fleet swoops down through a dormant volcano to save Carter, Deja, and their now-grown son. Together, the Red Martians, Green Martians, and Firstborn join forces to drive out the Therns once and for all. Stanton describes Warlord of Mars as a race against time, where Carter has to find and defeat the Therns before they destroy Mars. The Therns, who are shapeshifters, try to keep Carter distracted by posing as leaders of different Martian races, sparking infighting and chaos, kind of like how bots cause political division today. This chaos keeps the Martians too distracted to unite against the Therns. Meanwhile, Deja invents a device to detect the Therns, but they manage to destroy it and even assassinate Carter, revealing that it was just a copy of him and his real body is back on Earth. Back on Earth, Thern agents are waiting to finish him off, but Edgar comes to the rescue with a shotgun. Once Carter returns to Mars, he keeps his presence hidden. With Deja, their son, and one surviving Thern detector, they track the Therns to a hidden location at the top of the world, where Carter finally confronts Matai Shang. In the final showdown, Carter stops the Therns, saves Mars, and is given the honorable title of Warlord of Mars. Stanton had previously shared the title of the first John Carter sequel, but all these plot details, especially about Warlord of Mars, are new. Based on these thorough synopses, it's clear Stanton had a strong vision for John Carter's journey. Though the sequels were canceled and aren't being developed, it sounds like Stanton could quickly pull together scripts for both films if Disney ever decides to revisit the project down the road. Despite Stanton's solid plan for the John Carter sequels, Gods of Mars and Warlord of Mars are unlikely to go beyond the page. The film's box office struggles were significant enough that Disney has little motivation to revive the franchise. Instead of continuing John Carter, Stanton went on to direct Finding Dory and contributed as a writer for Toy Story 4, Lightyear, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. While John Carter isn't his most celebrated project, Stanton's ideas for the sequels show just how much ambition he had for the series. Well, that's it. Andrew Stanton's vision for the sequels truly sounded like it would have taken us on a thrilling ride through the Martian landscape. So what do you think? Would you have wanted to see Gods of Mars and Warlord of Mars come to life on the big screen? Let me know in the comments. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe for more updates on future film projects and the stories behind them. We'll see you next time.